So my friends, here we are again, end of the week, and I'm aware that the theme of the week is practicing with challenges, and one of the really important components of a healthy approach to challenges is confidence. To have confidence in oneself, to have confidence in the practice. So it's not just oneself. And part of what makes challenges difficult is a lack of confidence, like a kind of a helplessness, hopelessness, feeling can't be done, feeling that we're going to be overwhelmed by a situation. And certainly there are ways in which we cannot stop tidal waves coming sometimes. But it makes a difference if we can meet them with Dharma confidence, the confidence in the practice. And there's many components of this kind of confidence and many aspects of how it would play out in the real world. But for now, I want to offer one. And that is to an attitude of being available to be changed in a healthy way, to be available for what's happening, always ready, so that there's not a shield up, we're not closed up, we're not lost in our thoughts and our fears and our doubts, but a kind of openness, a kind of counterphobic, where once the challenge comes, rather than stepping away, we, internally at least, not maybe physically, but internally, we step towards, okay, I'm available for this. And I'm available to be changed. What is needed from me? What useful ways can I now let go, show up, evoke positive qualities? How can I enter this as a practice opportunity? What's the practice here? And and how not to meet the challenge and already have lost before it has arrived or before it's over. So to be available, to have confidence, to bring the practice of attention, the practice of available awareness that's there for what's coming, is the proposal for this morning's meditation. So to gently take some time to enter into your posture. If it's comfortable, close your eyes. And already from the start, an inner stance, an inner attitude of being available to what is, by discovering it, knowing it, recognizing it. What is this experience I'm having here and now through my body? To be available to feel the tensions of the body, without preconceived ideas or attitudes about what it means to have tensions, just to feel it, to be available for a discovery here, now. Availability that also makes room for the tensions to relax, partly on their own, when they are known. And then being available to how the body experiences breathing. Putting aside attitudes, beliefs about breathing and mindfulness of breathing in favor of recognizing how it is the body is experiencing breathing now. And to have confidence in mindfulness, confidence in awareness, is to appreciate that it's quite significant and valuable to meet whatever's happening with a clear recognition, clear awareness, clear knowing. Without needing to fix anything or change anything. Just be present for breathing. The attitude of availability is closely connected to being receptive to experience. Receptive to the body breathing. Relaxing any way in which you're asserting yourself with attitudes, beliefs, trying to do things, make things be different. to meditate, calling upon your confidence in the practice, the confidence of an honest, clear awareness of the present moment. Without getting into thoughts and analysis, commentary, just aware. And with whatever confidence you have in the practice, to relax in such a way that you're available to be changed, to be freed. as we come to the end of the sitting, to turn towards whatever confidence you have in the practice, confidence of being present, and to whatever might come, and turning towards an availability to be a refuge for others. Your availability to be a safe person for others. Where for certain times right now, you don't have to be protecting yourself and making yourself safe, but you're available to be a refuge, a friend for others. And then to turn your attention outward, maybe in preparation for beginning to re-engage in the world of people and animals and this earth, and to consider how to enter back in to the world with a confidence and availability, an openness, a receptivity, and a wish to be safe and caring for others. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free. Thank you. So, hello everyone, and welcome to our fifth talk on the Dharma of Challenges. And this talk and last week's talk, and if I think about it, maybe the last 4 weeks of topics have a kind of background for, or laying the foundation for what's going to come, which is talking about the challenges that we have and how we can address it with the Dharma, with practice, with mindfulness. And hopefully the things we've done in December, there was a lot of talk about the positive states of practice, that those actually are part of this foundation of now looking at challenges more. And following last week, what is the Dharma? On last Friday, I talked about the Dharma being Dharma as transformation. That Dharma is not just a set of teachings, it's not just a practice, but it's also the transformation, the beneficial change that comes about through the practice and through finding in the practice a healthy, appropriate attitude with which to meet life, to be with life. So in the about 3 weeks ago or so, I gave a talk on these 5 beneficial states for listening to the Dharma, hearing it. When people were in these states, the Buddha would recognize it and he would teach them the Dharma that was transformative, that would change them. And this is to have a mind that's bright, inspired, to have a mind that is receptive or ready, to be free of hindrances, to be malleable, pliable, workable, to have a malleable, soft mind. Um, and, um, and so this idea of being soft and receptive and available to be changed is such an important attitude for our life. And it's easy to have a simplistic and obvious and sometimes important attitude that, no, I can't do that. I have to protect myself. I have to defend myself. I have to take care of myself. I can't just be available. I'll be taken advantage of. And to some degree, that's true. And we have to do this wisely. But as our wisdom and confidence grows about how to be in the world, that without harming ourselves through our clinging, through our anger, through our ill will, hostility, through our greed, envy, all kinds of things that we do, that we learn how to be in the midst of challenges while being available for change and to be changed. So one of the really, I think, clear for me representations of this is the idea of dialogue with others. How to be in dialogue, how to be in a productive, not just discussion about something, but dialogue for me means you're addressing some theme, some idea, some concern, exploring something, whether it's exploring a conflict you have or exploring some Dharma idea, that in a dialogue, that it's not, if we're only about convincing other people that we're right, then we're not available to be changed. And you still might be right, and maybe you'll stay right, but that doesn't mean you can't be available to be transformed, to be changed by the other person, to hear new ideas, to hear them in a different way, to understand, to expand your horizons so you understand, well, I am right, but this person also has something. They're adding something. They're not taking it away. It's not either or. I'm available to be changed, available to learn something new. And without a dialogue, without that kind of availability, I don't think it's really dialogue. It might be just spouting opinions. And it might be it's mostly a debate. But to be available, to be in dialogue with this attitude, how can I learn something here? And is there something more I can learn? Or, what can I do? So this availability to be changed, to be transformed in a beneficial way. And it was relevant for me just before we started this meditation, that the technology wasn't working here when I sat down. And so I had to call for help from someone, and we're trying to figure it out. And normally in the minutes before I start here, I'm getting ready and a little bit getting my thoughts in organized and what we're going to talk about. But today I really couldn't do it much because we're dealing with the technology and getting things set up properly. But I was kind of happy because I said, oh, this is a challenge. I'm not being able to do it how I usually want to do it. But let's see what happens here now. Let's see what arises. This is happening, and I'm available for what comes next. I'm available to see how this unfolds or what arises out of this. And so rather than being kind of concerned about, or stressed around, maybe we're not going to get the sound system working in time for the 7 a.m. and all these people will be sitting there and, waiting, and we're supposed to start on time. Certainly wanted to try to be on time and be here, but I also had this kind of curiosity or this availability. Okay, this is how it is now, and I don't need to stress. I don't need to to have any kind of fear. Let's just see. And so this sense of availability made the whole thing, easier than it could have been. Much more pleasant than it could have been. It was nice. And it was wonderful to receive my friends' support and to feel generosity of helping making it out and problem solve. So to be available to be transformed, it's essential for doing Dharma practice. And so because it's so important, we want to understand what gets in the way of being transformed, why we're kind of stuck, why we're protected, why we're resisting or shut down or closed up, or why we're insisting that we're right, or insisting it has to be my way, and what's going on for us. And so the reference point, the standard, that I want to be available to be transformed, to be changed by the situation, to be freed by it. I can't do that. I'm not doing that. That's interesting. And so keep that in mind. Am I available to be changed? Am I available to be transformed by this? Am I available to be freed by it? And then we start discovering maybe we don't have a lot of confidence. Maybe we don't have a lot of sense of safety. We don't have we're afraid. We're assertive. We want something. And then to not just take that for granted, not to accept it as a given, but to put question mark next to it. Do I really need this to be this way? Is there another way? Is there another way of being safe? Is there another way of caring for this situation? Is there another way of protecting myself that's not shutting down? Is there a way of, what do I have to let go of to be available? This is such an important question, because so many times what we have to do is to let go of something we're attached to. Let go of some excessive, and I underline excessive, self-preoccupation. In such a way that we let go of it, it feels like a relief. In the moment, in and of itself, something that was closed or tight or stressed softens, lets go. We might feel more vulnerable because of that. And so then we have to figure out how to be with our vulnerability. Maybe we have to have effective ways of protecting ourselves, or do some cautious things. Maybe not be in certain situations, or not talk about certain things. But we're not closing down. We're not shutting down or resisting. We're just taking care of ourselves while we're available in an open, caring way for ourselves. So the Dharma as transformation, it is here to transform us in a beneficial way. It is here to free us from the stresses, the distresses, the fears, the way that we often live under. This is a path of liberation, and liberation is a transformation. And if you want to follow this path, to develop the confidence and the love for being available to be transformed, and to hear Dharma teachings and read books on Dharma, and not read it to reinforce our own opinions, but maybe it's nice, it supports how we understand things, but not to lob onto that. Actually be willing to be challenged by what we read and what we hear. Question it. The less we agree with it, the more valuable it is for us to engage in a deeper reflection and what's happening here, what's going on, and rather than quickly coming to a judgment, oh, this is right, this is wrong. So in Dharma life, to have the confidence to always be looking, always be seeing, where is the opening? Where is the possibility? Where is the doorway here to be freer? Where is it to be available, to be transformed, to let go of something, to bring forth, available to bring forth some of the beauty that's in our hearts, available to let our friendliness, our kindness, our love to be present. And how to be available for challenges, not only so that we be changed by them, but also we can be changed by what's the best qualities of our own hearts, to be available here, to see what goodness can come out in the context of our confidence, our kind of a strength. And without allowing the good in us to come forth, then maybe challenges can't transform us in other ways. So the Dharma of challenges and the willingness to be changed, the willingness to be transformed. And this is part of the art of Dharma practice, because the Dharma is partly, what it is partly is a transformation process, a liberating process, all in its own time, trusting the process. So thank you for this, and you might see in the course of this next time until Monday, this notion of being available to be changed, both by the external world, but also by your internal world. What comes forth? How often are you available, and how often are you going about your day in a way that actually you're not really available. You're like just insisting on everything being this way, or busy in such a way that it's only one way to do it. What would it be like to go through your day noticing when you're available to be changed and when you're not? And what do you learn through that? So thank you very, very much, and I appreciate this chance to explore this with you, and I hope that anything I've said hasn't disrespected how difficult some of your challenges are, that make it seem like it's too easy or simple to be with them. But maybe as we learn to work with the smaller challenges of our life, we're preparing ourselves to be available and know how to address the large ones. So thank you, and I look forward to continuing Monday. Thank you.